Welcome to the Deasy Show. I'm Andrew. This is my wife, Beck. Say hi, Beck.
Hi.
Let's get into it. Okay, so being the high-tech savvy early adopters that we are, we decided to wait until people starting podcasts is a tired meme that everyone's sick of before we started our own. Ours is going to be about what? Fitness and stuff?
Yeah, health and fitness and Bali life. Yep.
Yep, cool. All right, and I think, given that it's episode 1, I wanted to start with something really, really broad, and is that it's relevant to what we do. So if people don't know, we're personal trainers and we work online with a worldwide audience nowadays. And what I wanted to address was the 4 levels of competence. So they are, at the bottom, unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and at the top is unconscious competence. So in no particular order, those people that you hate, that we all hate, are the unconsciously competent people. They just, I eat whatever and I do some exercise and my health is great and I look great and everything's fine. And they don't actually know what they're doing, but they're just successful. They are competent, And that's kind of the holy grail. That if you're not one of the people, if you're one of the majority who's not lucky enough to just stumble into this effective health and fitness lifestyle, you've got to work your way there.
Yeah.
That's kind of the holy grail. At the other end of the spectrum are your people of Walmart who put Coca-Cola in their baby bottle for their kid and stuff. Like, they have no idea that they have no idea, right? That's unconscious incompetence.
Yeah.
And so the levels in between is where we do our work, basically. So I spend... So here's the thing that I find interesting, that I spend so much time and energy trying to make people aware that they are actually unconsciously incompetent.
Yeah.
And I'll explain what I mean. Because logic would dictate that if you tried to get in shape and then you failed, then you would become conscious of the fact that you are incompetent, right? I tried stuff and I didn't get the results I want. Therefore, I have learnt a lesson. I am now conscious that I'm incompetent. I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
But that doesn't happen. So what happens is a myriad of factors, and I'd be interested in your opinion. People go, oh, I tried to get in shape and I didn't. Therefore, it's not that I'm incompetent. It's that hormones or genetics or...
I did the wrong exercises. I was riding a bike instead of running a marathon.
Yeah, like I'll change factors that make no difference to the outcome.
Yeah.
Or focus on things that are outside of their control rather than things that are inside of their control. And all of these things just cloud the fact that, no, you just don't know what you're doing. You're incompetent. You're doing the wrong stuff. That's why you haven't got results. And so it's like a big part of my job is to be a professional arsehole who comes along and says, well, you're dumb. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And people are shocked and offended. And then I'm surprised. Like, why are you shocked and offended when I said you're not getting results because you're not doing the things that get results?
I think it's because it's been like years of them trying. It's a very emotional thing. Like, I remember before I understood strength training and bodybuilding and macro tracking and all of that, I thought, okay, there's obviously like specific exercises you need to do to be in shape and a specific diet. And I remember thinking like P90X and like their weird like fit all your food in these tiny containers. That is all I have to do, and then I'm going to be like totally hot with abs and stuff. I can't believe I used to think that. But yeah, I can understand how people think that and just buy into it. Shakeology. I need Shakeology.
Yeah, so like that's just a big part of what I do is just offending people by calling them incompetent, so that then they become conscious of the fact that they're incompetent, and then the learning process can begin. So if you remain unconscious of the fact that you're incompetent, then you have nothing to learn.
Yeah.
There's no need to listen to Coach Deasy or anybody else who is competent and understands what competence looks like, because insert random fuck up generator here.
Yeah.
And then the next level is where you are consciously competent. So you actually do learn how to eat properly. You do learn how to train properly. You do learn what's important and what's less important. It doesn't mean you're perfect, and it doesn't mean that you can do it without trying, but it means you do know what you're doing, and most of the time you do the right stuff.
Yeah, and you can repeat that over and over again. Say if you were to get out of shape to go on a holiday or something, you had a holiday and you ate and drank more than normal, you're aware of exactly what you need to do to get back to the shape that you like being in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's consciousness. So, or you have a head cold for 1 week, but for whatever reason, you're out of the gym for 3 or 4 weeks and your diet goes to shit. And then your results go backwards and you go, well, I'm not surprised because I'm conscious of what it takes and I know that I didn't do what it takes. And so then you just get started again. And I think most people are in those two categories in the middle. There's a heap of people who are unaware that they're incompetent, that they don't know what they're doing. But they think that they are.
Yeah.
They think they do know what they're doing. And then there's a bunch of people, and that's probably where we are, to be honest, consciously competent.
Yeah.
Like we have to focus on what we're eating. We have to focus on what we're doing in terms of training. We don't just waft through life accidentally getting everything right. It's really only a tiny number of people who have that sort of miraculous, it feels like I'm not trying, I don't even think about it, and everything works out fine. There's a few people like that, and then there's a few people at the other end, the people of Walmart, Coca-Cola in the baby bottle on 5 medications for, insulin resistance and hypertension, all that stuff, and they think this is normal, and they're unconscious of a problem. They're rare. The lucky winners are rare, and the rest of us are somewhere in between, conscious that we need to be doing something.
Yeah.
And so, different advice is required at different levels. And I think people get offended because they are unconsciously incompetent, but they think they're conscious. They think they know stuff. So so at that third level, that conscious competence, then we're talking about, okay, so what is optimal and what is more important and what is less important, blah, blah, blah. And they want me to speak to them at that level, but they're not at that level because their head is still full of shit and magic and make-believe. And I've got to shake them out of that or slap them around the head to get them to understand, no, you're not even there yet. You need to let go of some things that you think you know that are just not true.
Yeah, definitely.
And that just seems to be a surprisingly large proportion of what I do with beginners is just explaining to them that they don't know what they're doing, because you would think that everybody starts on level 2, as I said before. As soon as you try and fail, you go, I don't know what I'm doing. I should get expert advice. Nope.
Yeah, I guess you deal with a lot more beginners in the blitz, whereas most of my clients are like seasoned blitzers and stuff like that. So they pretty much know what they need to do, but I think they need to be told what to do.
Right, so you get to work with people who are conscious of their shortcomings and what they need to do, and okay. And a large part of what we're talking about is fat loss. That's what most of the general population wants.
Yep.
It's like the proximal problem. What people need to be doing is getting strong, working on their bone density and their longevity and their health span and all that sort of stuff. There's huge benefits to exercise and training, but what people care about is my tummy's fat. That's the problem. So and I think losing fat is easy, fast and fun, but that's not a popular opinion. Why do you think people struggle so much trying to lose fat, which I think is simple, and why do they think it's so hard? What do you reckon?
So the main points I had was the giving up too easily, so expecting rapid, huge changes in the scale weight, and then sort of giving up when they don't see that result.
So unrealistic expectations.
Yeah, definitely. People forget how long it takes to get fat, or how long it took them to get to where they are. Mm-hmm. So it's not going to happen overnight.
Also, I think most people are unaware that the calories in, calories out thing is a double-edged sword, but one side of that sword cuts a lot deeper in that you can create a small calorie deficit and lose fat over time, but you can eat your way into a massive surplus and gain fat a lot faster than you can lose it.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, another thing is the lack of accurate macro tracking. So there are people who will come along in the Blitz and believe that they were tracking like 1,200 calories and they weren't tracking accurately, or maybe they were forgetting to track certain things like oils or something they were cooking with, or like if they're ever preparing food for their kids and like taste it, or, you know, it all adds up. So you have to track literally everything you put in your body if you want your macros to be accurate.
Yep.
You're probably not hitting 1,200 calories if you're maintaining or gaining.
Well, you're definitely not. And so, you know, when people talk about fat loss, they're talking about calories in, calories out. It's calorie deficit. That's what it is. I think James Smith did brilliant work when he went on to various social media platforms for like 10 years and didn't say anything other than calorie fucking deficit. Like it looked
with the balloon.
with the balloons and like everything. Like it was so ridiculous and so repetitive, but necessary because people still don't get it. They've got this idea that, oh, well, if I create a calorie deficit, then that will lead to weight loss. No, a calorie deficit is weight loss. It's energy being converted to matter and vice versa. That's literally what it is. So what you need to do, like in terms of what you're doing, you're going to do things that lead to a calorie deficit. It's not that a calorie deficit leads to fat loss. Calorie deficit is the goal. And people just can't wrap their heads around that. So, you know, if I ask the question, why are people struggling to achieve fat loss? I could say, why are people struggling to achieve a calorie deficit? Because it's the same thing.
Yes. Yeah.
And, you know, as you said, you touched on 2 points and assumed a third, I think. Like you assumed that people should understand what macronutrients are and that they should be tracking them.
Yeah.
You know, you start there and then it's, are you tracking accurately? And then if you think that you are maintaining an 80 kilogram, 176 pound body on 1,200 calories, well, then you're delusional. Because again, this comes down to some quite basic mathematics when you look at a calculator online. I'm sure it's quite complicated when you look at all the biology, but you know, the amount of calories that you're burning on a daily basis is going to come down to how big your body is and what you're doing with it. And if you're a human species, then the human species thing is a constant. So you can swap one body for another body if they're exactly the same size and exactly the same activity level. The calorie level is going to be pretty much exactly the same. It's not true that someone is maintaining 175 pounds, 80 kilograms on 1,200 calories, and everybody else is maintaining on 23, 2,400 calories.
Yeah.
Right? And people don't know that either, which kind of ties back into the first point. They are unconsciously incompetent. They are unaware that they don't know that these are very fixed relationships between calories in, calories out, body weight up, body weight down, and the relationship between how much mass a body is, how much activity it's doing, and how many calories it's going to be burning. Like all of this is just so mundane.
Yeah.
And pedestrian when you get it.
Yeah. It is.
But it's just, I guess if you're a beginner, if you're lost in the wilderness, that information is out there. You can Google it and find out everything that we just said.
Exactly.
But you'll also find P90X and Shakeology and, you know, one weird trick and the lemon tea water to, I don't know, kickstart your metabolism. You'll find all kinds of information.
Yeah.
And it won't be neatly organized into this is important, this is unimportant, this is true, and this is complete bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's one of the interesting things about the internet. All the answers are there, and yet they're hidden amongst all this crap that
people want to sell you, basically.
that people want to sell you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do people want to buy? The easiest thing possible.
Yeah, the most fast, rapidest way to get to their dream body or fat loss.
The maximum payoff with a minimum investment. Minimum investment of time, money, effort, anything. I just want to put in the least and get out the most. And so if somebody sells me some promise, then I'm going to be inclined to believe that because I want to believe that.
So diet.
Yeah. So people are struggling
to
achieve their fat loss because diet. Yeah, I would agree. That's what it is. Because you can't out-train a bad diet. Cardio is not the opposite of fat. Ultimately, it's going to come down to your calories in, calories out. But it's just, why aren't they getting their diets right? And there's a lot of reasons. What about training? What's the thing that is holding people back in terms of training, exercise, and not getting results? Again, this is episode 1, so we're keeping things very broad and pretty fundamental and basic.
I'm not following a training program. So going into the gym and just sort of faffing around, really, is what I call it. Or flop around fitness.
Flop around fitness is a specific genre.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's an inside joke. If you know, you know.
Yeah, I had one of my clients who I recently started working with say she would go to the gym and sort of she didn't know what she was doing, so she'd do like every single machine. It's like, okay, it's upper day, so go do all these machines. And then we're like, okay, why am I not looking amazing? And it's like, yeah, so what were you lifting? And how many reps were you doing? And do you know why you're doing that machine? Like, what muscles were you working? What was the purpose of that? It's not, you're not trying to run a marathon in the weights room. Go round and round.
Yep.
Got them all done, high five.
The person who does the most machine wins.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the way I think about it, 2 big mistakes: not understanding specificity of adaptation and not training hard enough. I think the vast majority of people's results would improve 11 million% if they understood those 2 things. Specificity of adaptation would refer to the magical belief that people have, or the lack of specificity would refer to the magical belief that people have that they can choose whatever form of diet and exercise that they prefer. And we've already touched on this. It's like, okay, what is the most comfortable? What requires the least investment, time, money, and effort? And comfortable means what keeps me within my comfort zone, something I'm not scared of, something I'm not worried about looking incompetent at. I want to skip the incompetent stage and go straight to competence. So I'll stay within my comfort zone. All of these are deciding factors on what you might choose to do for exercise, but not a single one of those factors has anything to do with what result comes from that exercise. So if people were to disregard all of that, go, oh, if time wasn't an option, if money wasn't an option, if I was the bravest person in the world, if I knew how to do everything, then what would be the best exercises to do to get the results that I want? So start there, and then maybe work backwards in terms of realism. Well, I've only got so much time in the day. I've only got so much money. Only this kind of gym is available, whatever the restrictions are. But start with what's the best form of exercise to get exactly the physical adaptation in my body that I want, and go, right, that should be the plan. Then modulate that plan for reality. People go the other way. They start with, what's my comfort zone? What's free? What takes 5 minutes? What's easy? And I'm like, cool.
That's true.
At no stage have you actually considered what's really going to move the needle, what's really going to get me what I want. So that's the specificity of adaptation problem. And then the next problem was the one that I had when I was a beginner that held me back, was just not understanding that training means training hard.
Yeah, that's true.
A
lot of people don't train hard enough.
Understatement. The word hard is redundant when you say training hard. Because if you're not training hard, you're not training at all. So there's like a minimum threshold of intensity, and I use the word intensity in the colloquial sense, like how intense are you being in the gym, how hard are you pushing? There's a minimum threshold that you need to get above before you're going to stimulate any adaptation to your body. If you just go through the motions, if you do every upper body machine in the gym because you're doing, 2 plates, 10 kilograms on everything, and I do 3 sets of 8 on every machine, and I don't break a sweat, and my heart rate doesn't change, and nothing hurts, and I don't make any, unseemly noises, well, you haven't trained. You've just pushed your arms and pulled your arms around in various ways, and you haven't begun to even approach that minimum threshold of how hard it needs to be. So,
yes, with progressive overload, yeah. I mean, what you've done is just a little bit of calorie burning, basically, but you could also do that by going for a walk on the beach, basically.
Yeah, Exactly. And it's not like a walk on the beach is a bad idea.
Yeah,
But
in addition.
a walk on the beach is not going to get you the results that you want.
No.
And neither is, flopping around a bunch of machines. So, like, where I went wrong as a kid was reading Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding, or Modern Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding, 1984, modern. And he had all of these complicated pyramid sets. You have to do the 15 reps of the 12 and down to 4 to 6 reps for your heaviest set, and then blah, 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 blah. And so I got all caught up in getting these numbers right. It's like, oh, this exercise with this technique and these numbers. And I'm sure he said you need to train really hard. Like, you need to be on the verge of vomiting and fainting and your eyeballs bleeding and all that stuff. I'm sure that was in there, but I just didn't pay attention to that. And I picked up on all of these specific numbers things. So I just go through the motions doing all these complicated specific numbers. And you don't get very far. You're never going to do progressive overload. There's no progress without the effort.
Yeah, so you're like kind of autistic about the numbers then.
Kind of autistic about the numbers. I got fixated on that stuff and like getting it correct, following the recipe, when the recipe isn't that important.
Yeah.
You know, are you doing 6 reps, 8 reps? 7? 7's an odd number. That'll never work. Like, no. Like, if you train hard, you train hard. That's it. Dumbbells will never work. You have to use a barbell. No, like, people get fixated on these little specifics and miss the big picture, which is it basically the right stimulus, and are you doing it hard enough to even get that stimulus? That's where people are going wrong. And you can see that in commercial gyms all around the world every day.
Yeah, you see people trying to do a lat pull down and it's like a half rep.
Well, I see people doing...
Oh, no, the overreach.
Yeah, the overreach.
Down to that.
It's the 1.5 reps.
What are you working? What muscle group are you working there?
Yeah, well, at some point it becomes an internal rotation exercise and then a tricep extension. And if you have a weight that you can do a shoulder internal rotation or a tricep extension, then it's a small weight. It's not heavy enough for your giant lats. So you're doing it wrong.
Not mastering the basics. Yeah, like shitty technique and shitty range of motion as well. But I say that because I will make my clients film their exercises and send it to me so I can see what they're doing. And then sometimes I'll be like, oh, now I know why your back extension is hurting your back. It's just this.
Yeah, okay.
But then a tiny,
But that's a subtly different thing. So the importance of technique is for, getting the result that you want, but also not hurting yourself.
Yes.
And I think you can still you can get great results and hurt yourself. You can get pretty good results and do bad technique if you're doing basically the right thing and you're doing it hard enough. It's like, this is not for brain surgeons. And then I think perfecting technique comes in for a more advanced person where, if somebody's going to be competing and we need every fiber of rear delt possible or whatever, then the specifics of technique and getting things right really matters. Or if someone's hurting their back. And as the joke goes, every exercise is a lower back exercise if you do it wrong enough.
It's true.
So that's where I think technique comes in. It's either optimizing things or avoiding injury. But people can still do things basically badly and get results. I mean, that's the foundation of CrossFit.
That's true. Yeah. Injure yourself as fast as you can.
Speaking of CrossFit, is it my imagination or is CrossFit less popular in Bali now?
Yeah, High Rocks has taken over.
Okay.
I feel like CrossFit is nearly dead.
Oh. Well, there was a big scandal about the owner. I don't know, did he say the N-word or something? I don't know what it was. I don't pay attention. Why the hell would I pay attention to CrossFit?
Right.
But it was a big enough cultural phenomenon that he had to get cancelled or something.
The owner of CrossFit?
Yeah, the founder, that drunk guy.
So people started to dislike him.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's an opportunity. So
Yeah.
It's a pyramid scheme. It's not a pyramid scheme, but it's a hierarchical organization where, you know, I assume if you have a CrossFit box, you have to pay your like license and registration fees and blah, 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 blah. And so the value that people who go to, like if you were a CrossFit box owner, the value to your customers is you, your guidance and enthusiasm, the building that you pay for, the equipment that you've bought, all that stuff. So if I'm one of your CrossFit fanboys, and you know me and everybody else is your customer, we're giving you money for the experience and the training, and then you have to just give money to somebody somewhere else, and every CrossFit box in the world is doing that. It's going to add up, and then there's going to be a little bit of resentment.
Yeah.
So in the early days, where you go, wow, Becylu's CrossFit, I get customers because of that brand, but eventually, once you become an established business, like, no, people are going to you. Like
ICN and INBA.
like ICN and INBA, bodybuilding federations, and also like WBFF and FMG. I think more specifically, it's like it's just such a money machine where, you know, you're a local show promoter and people are going to your show because it's great and whatever, and then you just send money to Canada for no reason.
Yeah. And you might be like one of the best promoters in the world, but it doesn't matter. You still have to pay your money to the big guy. So that kind of sucks.
Yeah. So then if there's an opportunity, if the big guy says the N-word or something, then you go, oh, because of my principles, I can no longer do business with this person, and just keep that money in your pocket. So, okay. Good for you with your high-minded principles. That was quite transparent with the FMG thing. It's just, we get to keep all the money, and I assume High Rocks is the same. I don't know. It may not be.
If people are dying backstage, it's never good.
Well, yeah. I don't think it was about... Was it about? I don't know.
Yeah. A guy had a heart attack on that show.
Well, that's even worse.
And he died.
Well, that's even worse. Because, like, people are just dying at IFBB comps all the time. But
really? Nobody knows.
But then you don't call the president of IFBB an asshole.
I'm so dehydrated, I died.
Yeah.
Like, it's normal. Carry on with a show that takes 5 years to get through one division.
Sweep him into the... Sweep the corpse in the corner and the show must go on. Like,
that's true, that's true.
That's IFBB, and nobody says, oh, the owner's a terrible person and I can't associate with them anymore. So that's why I'm saying it was a money thing
of course.
To ditch WBFF. Go to FMG. But anyway, we're talking about CrossFit.
Yeah,
we're talking about Bali.
Oh, okay, we're back to Bali, yeah.
So...
Sorry.
Like, what's the CrossFit gym here?
Wanderlust.
You've been to it, yes. There you go. I just outed you publicly.
Wanderlust, yeah.
Yeah, like that was Mecca. Like that was the hugest thing in Canggu, I mean Greater Canggu. It was Wanderlust. Like,
yeah, it's a big deal for tourists to go there.
And now it's just it takes up no space in my consciousness. I'm not aware of it. I don't see people wearing stupid WOD shirts everywhere.
No.
It's just. I mean, that particular gym is still huge, yeah?
It's massive. Well, I guess they have retreats, and they also have like a hotel-style thing where you go stay there as a tourist and then work out there. But I think, the people that go there now would be more so tourists or people staying short-term. It's not going to be really people long-term. But they do have High Rocks there now. So it's changed to High Rocks.
Oh, it's literally not CrossFit anymore?
Well, I guess they would still do like WODs and...
You don't know. You're just making shit up.
No, I know they do High Rocks because I asked my friend Jewel and she said, yeah.
Okay.
She's like a High Rocks queen now, so she would know where they do High Rocks. Would you say Canggu is like the new Venice Beach?
That's my thesis. In that, you know, you look at Venice Beach, California in the 70s, pumping iron, all that sort of stuff. It's like, the golden age. Which I think should be renamed the Silver Age, but again, that's another autism thing.
What's it now?
What's what now?
What's Venice Beach now? You see drunk people yelling at their dogs.
She wasn't drunk. Alcohol doesn't make you have a conversation with your dog and then strike it next to your shopping trolley full of belongings. California, beautiful. That's crack and meth and stuff. It's terrible. Yeah, it's terrible. So, forget Venice Beach. Like, it's garbage now, which is tragic. But, I mean, that 70s golden era, all the bodybuilders from around the world go there. It's the place to be. It's a place to be seen. Is that Canggu now and for the last few years? Because it might be Dubai, that oxygen gym. It might be Las Vegas with Flex Lewis's Dragon something or other gym and things like that. But it could be Canggu. It could be a little bananas and coconuts like surfing beach village in Indonesia is the new Venice Beach
I think
for
it
the
is.
world.
And maybe not specifically one gym, like as you're saying, it's like Gold's Gym and all that.
Oh, but there was multiple gyms back then.
I think maybe Obsidian, based on how massive it is. But it's also because, Canggu, it's not like Ubud at all. It's at the beach, so it's at the beach. And the people are training to look good mostly.
They have showers, unlike
yeah.
Ubud.
And it's not airy fairy bullshit. It's I'm training to look a specific way, and so they're going to the gym lifting weights, or they're going to do Pilates. But the volume of Pilates studios, gyms, fitness studios, run clubs, high rock studios is cycle classes, paddle, tennis, like everything. You don't do paddle, you're not cool. Surfing, all of that, the volume is just so jam-packed, and then all the people are coming from around the world either to teach or train. So like they might be a really good Pilates instructor, so they want to come here and work, or they want to train, they want to learn from coaches who might live here, who they know live here. So yeah, you're spoiled for choice. Like you can't be here and be out of shape, basically. And everyone wants to be here. Even if it's only for like 3 months, still they want to be here.
Well, yeah, if people can be digital nomads, they go to Canggu.
Yeah.
It's just what they do. If they're in like the bodybuilding fitness model space, that's got to be number one in the world right now for that particular niche of weirdos. But like even just on holidays, you just see a parade of IFBB pros in the gym. I've never trained next to so many IFBB pros and European champions and world champions and Russian champions, and like they're just everywhere. You just trip over champions everywhere here. And that's what I mean. Like that's why Canggu now-ish would be the best analog for Muscle Beach back then. Because I remember seeing that Andre Adieu dude, IFBB Pro, however many million followers he has, like just sweating it out in Bull Gym.
Yeah.
It broke my brain looking at that guy. Like, it's fucking unbelievable. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then you find out that he weighs like 20 kilos less than me and he's twice my size. It's like, that's a different species. I don't understand what I'm looking at. And then, I mean, you won't see many guys like him. He's a freak among freaks. But yeah, there's just bodybuilders and bikini champions and stuff everywhere.
Yeah, basically, if you see someone like crossing the road who is overweight, it's really obvious.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, but...
Are you lost?
Yeah, it's like, why are you here? Like, it's clearly you haven't been here for long, because you wouldn't be looking the way you do if you look like that and you're here. You're in the wrong place. You need to go to Kuta. But,
Are you talking to me or this hypothetical person?
No.
Okay, I was getting offended. Yep.
No, but yeah, like really, really fat people is very obvious here. Because everyone is super hot. Like, I'll go to the gym and be, like, intimidated by super hotties training, like, super hard. I'm like, oh, my God. Like, shit, I need to train way harder because I'm, like, the worst-looking female in this gym right now. But that's a good thing for me because it's more, like, aspirational and, like, it's motivational, I guess, in a sense. Other people might be like, I can't ever go train here.
My summary is, like, I'm the oldest, ugliest, fattest person in Canggu. Because, yeah, everyone's in shape. And it's not just if you're overweight that you stand out. I was walking behind, or maybe riding behind some chick and just looking at her bare shoulders because obviously all the women are naked all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And she just didn't look right. I'm like, why does this look strange? And then eventually I worked it out. I'm like, oh, she doesn't have traps. Like, it's so normal now for everyone to have traps that some chick who doesn't do heavy rows and heavy deadlifts now looks strange to me. Because, of course, everyone's deadlifting double their body weight. You're in Canggu.
Yeah.
I thought that was amazing. And when, some of our clients and friends came and visited, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And like I was chatting with her husband, and he was like, "Holy shit! Like, even the girls have delts here. Like, what's going on?" Like, yeah. As soon as you come into Canggu, it's like different.
Yeah.
And it really is. Like, you start out in Kuta, and it's Shazza and Bazza from, Werribee with their Australia flag singlets
and they're
and
hanging
bintang.
out at that pub.
That pub.
What was it? Sky Garden?
There's probably a few pubs. I don't know.
Oh, no, I think Sky Garden was the one that they bombed. Never mind.
Awkward. Yeah, you start out there and you head towards Canggu. It's like there's a light switch. Once you go sort of just a few levels through that shortcut, then suddenly everyone's an
expert
Russian porn star, OnlyFans model, or a bodybuilding champion, or both. Like everywhere you see, it's pretty crazy. And yeah, it is good. It doesn't have that much of an effect on me because I'm very self-centered and don't care about anyone else
confident,
in the world. Okay, that's another way to put it. But still, it has an effect. It's like, wow, everyone here is awesome.
Subconsciously.
Yeah, it'd have to.
Yeah, if I were to go back to Australia and live there, I'd be like, what's going on? Did anyone go to the gym today?
Come on, people, lift your game.
How much water did you drink?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's another level where there's like different kinds of water here. There'll be like the spirulina water in those glass bottles at the health food store and like all those fitness places.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a magical kind of water. It's probably just like coconut water with something. But yeah, that's it. It's so hyper-focused on your health and fitness that even the water is next level. Yeah.
Well, I imagine there'd be plenty of places in the world like that, like health retreaty type places that have got, because we've got now so many supplement stores and health food shops and that sort of stuff, which is great. It's very convenient now. There's plenty of places like that, but I don't imagine there's many places in the world where just, if you go outside anywhere, you just see wall-to-wall fitness models everywhere. Like, I can't imagine anywhere else in the world that would be so skewed in that direction. It's very interesting how that happened. And it shows in the fitness industry business because they just keep opening new gyms. And this shows how much I know about business, which is not much, because I go, well, that's a terrible idea. You're opening a gym just down the road from 3 other gyms. That'll never work. And then you drive past the next week and the car park's full. It's like the Australian property market. Well, you can't expect people to pay $3 million for a dilapidated shitbox. Oh, okay, now it's $4 million. That was last week, it was $3 million. It just never stops. Like, there's no natural market forces. It's like that with gyms here. You just open another gym and you'll get 1,000 members. You just never run out of people to buy gym memberships and show up. So the gyms are busy too.
Yeah, people aren't buying a membership and going home and eating cake and feeling good about themselves because they bought a gym membership.
No. They're at the gym at the same time as me.
I don't understand how that works for people because I would feel worse because I'd be like, I'm spending money on it and not using it.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
That'd be good to get into.
Moving on. So I was going to send you, because I've been collecting my reels for you.
Reels?
Sorry, I'm going to send you, that's where I sent it to my other account. Becylu Fit Deezy, in case you want to follow. So let's find it. So I wanted to send you one firstly about, because we were talking on the subject of diet, and about diet and how it starts early.
Diet starts early.
Sorry, like as a kid.
Oh, not as in early in the morning.
It does if you wake up early. No, sorry. You should be considering that if you have kids. That's all I'm going to say. But I sent it to you.
Coca-Cola and the baby bottle type stuff.
Yeah, so I sent it to you on Coach Deezy. Coach Deezy.
On what? Oh, this is Instagram,
Yeah,
is it?
I don't have TikTok, sorry.
Goddamn social medias. I've got 3 new messages from you because I ignored the previous 2.
Okay, yeah, it's sent.
Oh, shit. The previous 2 are interesting. Caption, they eloped. Good for you guys.
Okay, I guess you didn't open that.
What?
So let's move to the video
Charmaine eloped? This is breaking news on the Deasy Show.
I think Charmaine's married now.
Well, that's what eloped means.
Yeah, good for you.
That she's in a dress.
Well, that does look like a bride.
It does. Okay. What am I watching? I gotta put some volume on this.
BTD
so
jokes.
we're packing lunch for a 9-year-old. starting off with the adult-sized ramen. Some heavy beef broth in there, so that should pretty much do it. We're adding meat
We're gonna add
and cheese. So this now has more sodium than the Dead Sea. Okay, yeah, a little garnishment courtesy of south of the border. A little limon.
This is what her
That should pretty much do it. That's about 700 calories right there total for a child.
At least 700
Oh, and I can tell by the manicure, the father's no longer in the picture. One thing fruit does need is more sugar. Everyone knows that.
I don't know what she put on that.
All right, so some vegetables, all right, to give her metabolism a fighting chance. Edible grass, chocolate bunny,
What?
mini eggs. Oh, it's Easter. Okay, so Jesus was able to rise again. Unlike this kid from the diabetic coma. Of course, a granola bar, chocolate bar, pack of chips, and a mango humex. This kid is no longer going to be breathing. Oh, some high-calorie mints, so at least she'll have some fresh breath when the paramedics are trying to resuscitate her. That lunch pail is now dwarfing the entire breakfast counter. And congratulations, you have yourself a torta. So we're packing lunch for a 9-year-old.
I don't understand the end part. I don't know what he just said at the end.
Right.
That's a 9-year-old girl.
Yeah.
It's a pink lunchbox.
Yeah.
I don't know what he said.
I don't think it's going to make much difference if it's a 9-year-old boy.
Because they're going to grow man boobs.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
Anyway, that guy's funny. It's the first time I found him on Instagram. And that.
Yeah,
What do
he-
you have to say about that?
He is funny. Agreed. And that is pretty amazing. Because that's a lot of effort to go to. So you kind of assume, you see the fat kid, you're like, right, negligent, child abusing parents. They probably just throw them a pack of chips and they get a bunch of empty calories and that's why they look like that. And of course, this is just almost exclusively packets of everything. But like, let's assume that she cut up those fruits and vegetables herself and she's made the noodles and stuff. Like, she's actually going to some effort. She's putting some thought into this. And yet, this is the result. Can we have a look at Mum? Like, how overweight is Mum at the start?
I don't know if
It's so hard to
He may
rewind
not
these
have. No, but I don't think he would have. Oh, you
No,
know.
she shows up at it's her video.
She looks like normal size.
And she's hiding herself behind the giant.
Smallish for an American. I'm guessing
that's-
they're American, right? It's American.
I assume so. And that's the food that the child will eat in between breakfast and dinner.
Yeah, when they're at school. It's not even including their dinner. Like, that is insane. Like, for me, it was like a sandwich and some fruit. And your sandwich is like...
Well, I mean, this is saying something about the...
We want a popper would be great. If anyone doesn't know what a popper is, it's a juice box for the Americans.
Okay. Well, this is a great example of the Americans and their insane concepts of food portions. Like, when you order food at a restaurant or something, you get enough food for like 3 people.
Yeah, when
And
we
so-
went to Vegas that time.
Yeah. So if you think that's normal, and so this is another thing that I talk about a lot is the normalcy bias. Like, once everybody's fat, once everybody's overeating, it's normal. Once everybody's on blood pressure medication and worried about their fasted blood sugar levels because they're going skewy, it's normal. Oh, this is just part of being a person. Like, no, actually, you're all insane. Your whole society is bonkers.
Well, yeah, when everyone has a mobility scooter to get around the casino in Vegas, it's normal.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Like, us walking is abnormal. And it's like, I'm using my legs.
Yeah.
And that's weird.
Yeah.
So weird.
So it starts we're getting to your point, it starts in childhood. Like, you learn that you should be just snacking on a giant buffet of 2,000 calories. Like, how much
Yeah,
food
what's
was that?
the total calorie? I mean, we don't know how much the child ate.
Not all of
We
it.
don't know, like, how big the child currently is. Like, maybe they're super underweight and she's trying to, like,
Yeah,
get
maybe.
some fat on.
This is a weight gain diet. I assume
But
that...
I would assume they're normal.
I'm assuming this kid is demanding all this food so that she can then trade food items with other kids for drugs.
Yeah.
Then,
Or cigarettes.
then
But
she
does
can...
she go to school in prison?
Then, yeah, I mean, maybe she goes to school in prison. Cigarettes are the currency.
Yeah.
But maybe she trades the food for drugs, sells the drugs, uses the money to buy guns and then ships them to Gaza. That makes more sense than a 9-year-old needing this much food anyway. So yeah, wow.
Yeah, I don't think we need to get into that.
That was interesting.
But I sent you another video now, which is fitness scams, which I can't remember, but I think it was good.
What's a scam that's become so normalized that we don't even realize it's a scam anymore?
The body positivity movement. Drinking raw milk, athletic greens, bloom greens, that one electrolyte supplement that sponsors every podcast you've ever seen. Yes, that one. Any sports supplement marketed just for women. It's the same supplement men take. They just put a pink label on it to charge you more. Colostrum supplements, or collagen protein powder. About 99% of what comes out of this guy's mouth, or this guy, if he's still around. Most probiotics. Nature's Ozempic, aka berberine, the keto diet, or any keto dessert in the grocery store. No, Jessica, I'm sorry. That keto cupcake won't keep you in ketosis. Blood type diets. Organic over non-organic. Any supplement claiming to boost your metabolism. Cryotherapy. Or ice baths for weight loss. I just said weight loss. They're still okay for other things. Anything Herbalife sells. Or any form of creatine that's not monohydrate. Natural testosterone boosters. Or any supplement claiming to balance your hormones. Which hormones exactly? Oh, that's right. It doesn't say. Because it's a scam. Any workout claiming to put you in the fat burning zone. The HCG diet. Or any crash diet. It's called that for a reason. Any supplement claiming to detox you. If your liver and kidneys are still there, you're just fine. But if they're not, you should go to a hospital, not spend $40 on a tea. What else did I miss?
What's a scam that's become so
I don't know. Not much, dude. Like, he put some thought into that,
What's
didn't
a
he?
HCG diet?
I don't know.
I'm interested to know what he's talking about.
Well, yet I don't know. But given that I agree with every single other thing that he said there, I'm assuming whatever it is, it's bullshit. Yeah, what a great little summary of the confusion in the fitness industry. That ties into what
It's true though. You spend $40 on some magical tea instead of being like, oh, maybe for like 6 months I might train properly and watch what I eat and track my macros. You're like, give me the hormone balancing supplement for $40 instead of, hard work.
That balance.
It's not even hard work.
Thing.
It's really about consistency.
People who can't name more than 3 hormones talk about hormone balance.
Yeah, it's funny.
Like, what's the balance? What are the numbers? Did you get a blood test? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is complete nonsense. It's just you're inventing a reason why you're not in shape, and then you're going to go and solve the problem that you invented that doesn't exist with something that doesn't work, even if it did exist, instead of just hit your macros and train.
Yeah, if you're not doing that, firstly, don't do the other thing.
Or
if you're doing everything amazing and perfectly and your liver's not working, then see the doctor.
you're dying and you need medical help. Exactly.
Yeah.
Jesus. Right. Okay. That was awesome. That's an excellent summary.
Cool.
And it goes to show how popular you will be if you tell people what they want to hear. This is all just different ways to monetize people's laziness and fear and ignorance. And that's the vast majority of the fitness industry and the overwhelming majority of the supplement industry is just exploiting people's ignorance and laziness. Mostly laziness. Like I don't want to let people off. Like I think people are responsible for themselves, and it's not like
also like a lack of self-esteem. Like if you're super confident in your body and if someone's trying to sell you this herbal cleanse, you'd be like, yeah, thanks, I don't care. I'm happy doing what I'm doing. Even if you're wrong with what you're doing. Even if you're like doing bro splits or something.
True.
Like, man, nah, I'm happy with what I'm doing, thanks. So I think there's a combination. There's probably 3 main factors. Laziness, you want it too quickly. You don't want to do the work. Was it ignorance was what you said?
Yeah, ignorance and laziness, I think.
And a lack of self-esteem.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's that. But I think mostly it's laziness, which is why I don't have a lot of sympathy. I'm trying to become more sociopathic and just
be meaner to people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just be more judgmental, less forgiving, less understanding, because it just doesn't get you anywhere. It's
right.
If I can find a way to sell out, if I can make some DZT or something and make millions of dollars and drive a Lambo, I think
can't drive a Lambo around here. That's so annoying.
Whatever, but I'm a sociopath, so I'll just run over the kids and dogs and stuff. It doesn't matter anymore. you need to get on board with the vision here. So like, I think that would make me happier than like helping people and caring about them. It'd pay
Well,
better.
it doesn't work.
It'd pay better anyway.
Yeah. Sorry, did you have a viewer's question? Did anyone
Yes,
want
there's
your help?
one viewer question. So
One person wanted your help. That's nice.
one person wants to ask my opinion and then ignore it.
Okay.
Why do some people eat like garbage and stay lean?
That's
Which is kind of like the unconscious competence. People who look like they're not trying, or maybe they really are not trying, and yet they stay in shape anyway. So why, Beck, do you tell me that I can't eat the ice cream, but I know someone who eats ice cream and they stay in shape? What's going on?
So I would say there's a whole heap of things. Daily NEAT. So there are people who are leg shakers and movers and groovers, and they don't know they are, and they're always going to be like in shape because they just need to move. They've got something going on. So they're moving more than regular people. Body composition, what they're made up of. If they're made up of more muscle, they can eat more food than people who are the same weight but made up of more fat.
Yeah, to an extent, it makes a difference. Okay, I think that's all we've got time for. So if you're looking for coaching programs or no bullshit advice, hit the links below. See you next time.